There are two paths. The path of yoga and the path of Tantra. I say that because once again, I opened the book by Osho on Tantra, the commentaries on the Mahamudra, the book of Tantra, and it speaks directly to what we're speaking of. I will draw a few quotes from it and then open those up. There are two paths. One is the path of the soldier. The other is the path of the king. Yoga is the first, Tantra is the second. What does he mean by that? We'll take yoga as the path of discipline. Yeah, we're not talking about the exercise type of yoga, which is what it has mostly become, but the true meaning of yoga, the path of discipline, the path of avoiding distractions, overcoming distractions. The path of applying effort to stop behaviors that seem to distract us, whether that is eating or sleeping or sexing or watching movies or reading or whatever it might be. The idea that we must apply some kind of effort, some kind of inner discipline to avoid being distracted, to overcome addictive behaviors, to overcome compulsive thinking, to apply effort to stop thinking, and to cultivate thoughts of compassion, feelings of compassion, and so on. So it's a cultivation of the qualities of being spiritual, a very traditional way, and the way that the separate self, the me, thinks is the right way. That's what I need to do. That way creates division. You are for something and you are against something. Something is good, something is spiritual, something is not good, it is not spiritual. This applies to everything, to behaviors, to actions, activity, to thinking, the kind of thoughts that appear, and to feelings, which is why it is so common, so prevalent that you might feel something, anxiety, yes? And then there is the thought, I should not be feeling anxious. It is not the anxiety that is the problem. It's the thought, I should not be feeling anxious. There you have created division. There you have created a problem, a fight, an argument. And that continues to perpetuate itself, because the destination of having only perfect thoughts and perfect feelings and perfect behaviors, being a perfect human being, is a fantasy. It does not exist. The path of love The path we are exploring in these sessions is the path of Tantra, the true meaning of Tantra, again, not as it has been hijacked to mean a whole load of sexual acrobatics or to do just with a relationship. The true meaning of Tantra, which means the end of inner division. The end of inner division comes when there is no repression, suppression, avoidance, rejection, denial, or bypassing. The end of division comes when you are natural, when you are soft, when you are relaxed. In everything that you do, in everything that you think, in everything that you feel. But that also means that you are relaxed and you are aware. It's not that you are relaxed and you are asleep. You are unconscious, so it's whatever. Tantra is not the path of indulgence. It's the path of awareness. It's the path of clear seeing. It's the path of purification. Not purification by trying to be pure, but purification simply by the act of, or the willingness to see, to be aware. A feeling arises, anxiety. Remain as awareness in that. Do not overlay it with I shouldn't be feeling this. And even if that thought arises, which inevitably it may arise, then watch that. Don't grab it. Don't cling to it. Don't take ownership of it. Tantra is the path of non-ownership. That is the path of awareness. Love and awareness are the same. We think of love as something that we do, something that we give, something that we feel about someone, about something, about ourselves. This is a great error of perception, a great error of conceptualization that arises out of the separate me, that takes ownership of everything and only sees in terms of subject and object. Tantra is the end of subject and object. Love is the end of subject and object. That's why love and awareness are two sides of the same coin. Awareness is like the sky, limitless, unbounded, the infinity of presence. Love is the same. Love is the same. It is the infinity of presence, being with what is, as it is. That is love. The end of division, the end of the inner argument, the argument with your inner landscape or the argument with your outer landscape. Brings you to the ultimate peace, the ultimate oneness. It doesn't mean that everything is perfect. Let me read you this. Even if you feel imperfection, Tantra says that imperfection is perfect. You need not worry about it. It looks very strange to say that imperfection is also perfect. Nothing is lacking in it. In fact, you appear imperfect, not because you are imperfect, but because you are a growing perfection. This looks absurd, illogical, because we think perfection cannot grow, because we mean by perfection that which has come to its last growth. But that perfection will be dead. If it cannot grow, then that perfection will be dead. God goes on growing. God is not perfect in that way, that he has no growth. He is perfect because he lacks nothing, but he goes from one perfection to another. The growth continues. God is evolution, not from imperfection to perfection, but from perfection to more perfection. When perfection is without any future, it is dead. When perfection has a future to it, still an opening, a growth, a movement, then it looks like imperfection. Be imperfect and growing. That is what life is. Don't try to be perfect. Otherwise, you will stop growing. You will become like a Buddha statue, stone, but dead. Because of this phenomenon, that perfection goes on growing. You feel it is imperfect. Let it be as it is. Allow it to be as it is. This is the royal way. So this Tantra, or this love, is the doorway to transcendence, but a transcendence that does not mean bypassing. You've often may have heard me say that this that is offered here, this teaching that is offered, is not about transcendence. And yet it is about transcendence. So let's just look at that word again, which has a double meaning. We can use the word transcendence to mean a higher spiritual state, a state in which nothing touches me, I am above it, I am beyond it. And this has become a generic term, which we can also say is the same as spiritual bypassing, that I am perfect. I live a perfect life in a perfectly rarefied atmosphere where all I feel is bliss and peace and positive feelings, and anxiety doesn't arise and fear doesn't arise and problems don't arise, and so on and so on. So I often say, this is not about the path of transcendence. This is the path of being in the world, in the midst of that which is broken. And at the same time, it is about transcendence. Tantra is about the transcendence of division, transcendence of the divided state. It means you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to hide from the world. You don't have to go to the mountaintop. You don't have to create your spiritual ashram and hide yourself in that in order to find truth or to find peace or to find freedom. It is not an avoidance. It is about being in the marketplace, being wherever you are. Perhaps you are on the mountaintop, or perhaps you are in the middle of a busy city. It doesn't matter what you are doing or where you are located. Tantra is always available. The path of Tantra, the path of transcendence of the divided state, by being here exactly where you are in a way that is loose and natural and relaxed, open, soft, tender, right here. No effort, no striving, no pushing, no rejecting, no fighting. Yeah? It's the end of any inner tension. Everything is resolved in love. This is coming home. This is coming home.